Sebastian Vettel has decided to hang up his overalls after a fantastic career. Yes. This guy, he's the third winningest driver of all time. He is liked up and down the paddock from everybody. He served as a great mentor to all the drivers who are there. Not to mention a great mentor off the track. We've seen all the stuff he's done for human rights and LGBTQ. And everywhere he goes, he's kind of like the poster boy now for environmental. I remember he was like boycotting the Miami race, and and it's never abrasive.
Yeah.
It's just more of a conscious kind of thought, and we've seen this guy evolve from somebody who looked like Max.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right up to somebody who can leave the sport with their head held high. When you say the word Sebastian Vettel, what comes to mind first?
World class driver. I think I think he's almost a complete package. Yes, when he was younger, he was just like a young driver. He was aggressive. He wasn't really great when talking to the media. He didn't really care. But then you saw like something change in him. He started enjoying F1. He started to realize, this isn't the be all and end all. This isn't everything that we need to do with our lives. There's a bigger picture. And once he started to show the bigger picture, you saw a big change in him. You saw him cleaning up garbage with the fans. You saw him, like you said, there's so much political views that he would support and put on his helmet and make somewhat in Canada, in Montreal, he did the pipeline on his helmet. And
right.
And
the thing about it is, like, how are you even aware of
that's
these?
What I mean.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time he went to a location, it was like, okay, what does this country need? And what can I do to kind of bring awareness to what this country needs? And no matter what, he how controversial or dangerous some of the things he was doing. He did it. He did not care. He saw that he had a platform that can make his word be his word is being spoken to everyone, and I think that's what we're gonna miss about him. He was always there for the world. He wasn't there for the sport. He wasn't there for his own self-gain. He was there to make the world a better place and bring awareness on how we can all make this world a better place, because right now this world is messed up, like really and truly. Like, we're not going to get into a political thing here, but the world's messed up.
We're living in some trying times right now. That's for sure.
And for him to look at all the drivers, especially in the last race, and be like, remember, we have a huge platform. We have to realize and not take advantage of people listening to us. People, when we say something, we have a following that will listen to us, or at least just listen to the conversation. They don't have to believe everything he's saying. They don't have to, go high, die hard, left side, right, like left wing, white wing person. He's there to just bring awareness. And the fact that he's starting to tell all the drivers now, like, listen, we have one of the biggest platforms in the world. Like, our sport is one of the most...
It's a global sport.
Yeah, it's a global sport. They literally
go to every continent. Like, it's global. And they keep adding races.
Yeah, exactly. And they have to realize, like, you can't take it for granted that all these kids are looking up to them, and the future of the world is looking up to them. And if, they're not going to... It's not like they're going to bring world peace or anything like that. They have to bring awareness to certain subjects in order for things to start to change. And if we don't know those subjects, or certain countries don't know the subject, or certain people don't know the subject, but they're F1 fans, he was a guy that brought those subjects up. Even, like I said, if it was dangerous or not, he brought those subjects up. And that's the biggest thing that I can take from Vettel's career, is that he turned around and was like, you know what? I have a huge following. We're all idolized by people in this world. So that one person that is, negative in this world, that has a negative impact on this world, but follows one of their racers, might be able to change just by words that come out of their mouth.
Or just the viewpoint. And that I think is what you're saying. It's like, he's not telling you what to think.
No.
He's just offering a different perspective for you to think.
Exactly.
Right? And I think, such a stark contrast from the guy who came into Formula One.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, when you think about Seb, especially in the early days with Red Bull, like, you just think of a savage.
Yeah.
Like, that guy was a absolute savage behind the wheel, you know? And it was like, there was talk when he first kind of came in, they're like, yo, this guy could be the greatest of all time. right? And he arguably is that by the end of it.
Yeah.
He admittedly, you know, when he moved over to Ferrari, they just weren't able to get it done. But I think the best part about Seb and is the piece that he's been able to come to with his career in Formula One. You know, he's 35, and a lot of people are saying there's room for him to come back. I don't think we're seeing Sebastian Vettel behind the wheel of a Formula One car ever again.
No.
Competitively, my hope is that we get him as a pundit in some of the coverage. You know, somewhere like Suzuka or something, because he loves that track. And he could do some of the analysis like Damon Hill or you know, Nico Rosberg or that would, but I honestly don't even really see that. Yeah. So I wish him nothing but the best, man. He has been an incredible ambassador to the sport. Yeah. And because it's a Canadian connection, we want to send a big shout out to Big Stroll, who I actually employed him for the past couple of years and brought him over to Aston Martin because, you know, as Canadian show and having some Canadians in the sport and owners in the sport, it was an absolute delight to see that unfold over the past couple of years.